A quick trade recap. Very clean trade today. So going into this day, by the way, I took one trade. It was a win. It was on NQ. So bruh, going into this day, I was bullish, extremely bullish. Now why? Because bigger time frame, we've now just tapped equilibrium of this price leg to the tick. So as you can see, equilibrium right here. We've tapped equilibrium to the tick. We have mitigated the weekly fair value gap. As you can see here, we trade into the weekly fair value gap, and we're now delivering higher from that. Now, what do we do? What do we do to the 4-hour fair value gap here? If this will ever load. Nope. Let's refresh chart. Dude, this app is so annoying, I swear. So what do we do to the 4-hour imbalances here? We trade straight through them. We even leave. Is there a daily? No, there's not a daily. But like these 1 hours here, we just trade straight through. This 1 hour here gets traded straight through. All of this, we trade straight up. We're coming from a key level, trading to a draw on liquidity. And notice how we have a very clean and obvious market maker buy model right here. So we have sell side of the curve here. This is a daily intermediate high, which is a very, very strong draw on liquidity. Now what that is a high inside of a fair value gap. So as you can see, we have this daily fair value gap here, and then this high that's resting inside of this fair value gap. This is an intermediate high. It's kind of like data lows. Like it's just or data highs or data lows. It's just a very strong draw. So going into this day, I could see that we already had a 15-minute fair value gap here. So as you can see, from 7:45, from like 7 o'clock, we had this big move higher here, which created this order block right here. And then we also opened up a 15-minute fair value gap. So going into market open, we trade lower right here, right at market open, which is exactly what you would want to see. You don't want to just see a quick move higher. You want to see the market open, trade lower, manipulate, rebalance to equilibrium of this price leg, which is, I'm sure we did this to the tick, because that's how algorithm. Holy crap, the magnet's annoying. Yeah, look at that. To the literal tick, we retrade to rebalance to equilibrium of the price leg. Same thing as the daily time frame. Just this is the 1 minute. Market's completely fractal. So market opens, trade lower, hold the 15-minute fair value gap. Small internal SMT gets put in. Now, what is this right here? This is actually the 2-minute fair value gap. So if I go to the 2-minute time frame, as you can see, we trade higher here. Now I end up taking my long right here. I enter my long position right on this candle, I believe. Let me pull up executions and see for sure. Bruh. Okay, yeah, right here. So I take my entry here. My stop was at this low here, below the 2-minute inverse fair value gap. And then I went break even at the internal pre-market high. And then I took my full position off at this high here. Now, I did have this marked out. And as you can see, I continued to click forward just to see if the trade would end up playing out. And it did. We ended up going all the way to the daily intermediate high. But I was taking low-hanging fruit. I was taking what I was confident in. Like, I know that we're going here, and that was this high here. Now, why do I like this high? Because it's the end of the low resistance liquidity run. So if we're just like looking at this, just this screen right here, just this right here, this is the very clear and obvious market maker buy model, delivering from the weekly fair value gap, running through all of these bearish inefficiencies, clearly showing us that the draw on liquidity, I can't freaking talk, that the draw on liquidity is higher. And this is the end of this internal low resistance liquidity run. So that's this high here was my target. And as you can see, I take my full position off there. We end up getting a rebalance. This is looks like 9 a.m. news, and then the trade ends up playing out overall. But I mean, this is just such a clean setup here. Such a clean buy. This is a continuation model, by the way, because obviously we've already traded away from all of this. And I mean, yeah, I see all of this sell side. Like I see sell side here, sell side here, sell side here. This also looks like a higher time frame intermediate low. But you have to always be reactive to what you're seeing. So yeah, I identify that maybe the market could potentially move lower because of all the sell side liquidity, but I'm reacting to the fact that the market is currently holding this 15-minute fair value gap bullish, holding this 1-hour order block bullish. We rebalance to equilibrium of the price leg, and then the result of all of that, what is the reaction of all of that? A 2-minute inverse fair value gap. So from an area that we would already expect to reject, we trade higher, inversing the 2-minute. This is just such a clean, clear setup. Like I said, I take my long, break even at the high, let it run towards buy side. So yeah, very clean trade today.